He's got to point out to Mindy that her staying in Danny's second apartment is a bad idea, because he's clearly just keeping tabs on her. Well, Mindy is going to test this theory out by inviting Charlie over for dinner. How does Danny find out that she's got a guy over? Because they have inexplicably left their shoes in the hallway outside the apartment door. Who would ever do this?
Psychopaths. Fiends.
Welcome back to another episode of The Rank. I'm John, and today we're going to be ranking the next episode of The Mindy Project. Now, for those of you who are new to the show, I'm going to give you a quick agenda here. We start with the potent notables, which are just a couple interesting facts or tidbits that I found out about the episode or series. Then I go into the episode overview, which is just me talking about everything that happened in the episode. Then I do the rank, where I rank the episode in 5 categories on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best, all to figure out what is the best sitcom of all time. And today we're going to be ranking the 21st episode of the second season of The Mindy Project, titled Girl Next Door. Written by Tracy Wigfield and Alina Menken and directed by Michael Weaver. Now, this show is available on Hulu and it's been around for a while, so if you're worried about spoilers, you should watch it first. Otherwise, there are spoilers ahead. But without further ado, let's dive into the episode here with the potent notables.
Potent notables.
So the 21st episode of the second season aired Tuesday, April 29th, 2014. Okay, Mindy held her own this week. No, the show didn't beat anybody, but it didn't lose any viewers from its 9 p.m. lead-in New Girl. New Girl had 2.2 million viewers, and so did Mindy. They only lost 200,000 from their lead-in Glee, which had 2.4 million. This is another 100,000 viewer improvement for Mindy, which had 2.1 million last week. So maybe things are looking up. Anyway, as per competition, Mindy beat Supernatural on the CW, which had 2 million viewers, but lost to everything else as expected. It lost to Discovery's Deadliest Catch, which had 3.11 million, ABC's Trophy Wife, which had 3.2, A&E's Storage Wars, which had 2.45 million, and NBC's Growing Up Fisher, which had 5.6. And of course, the winner of the time slot once again was NCIS Los Angeles with 14.8 million viewers, while the winner of the night was also on CBS and also NCIS, just not the Los Angeles variety, with 17.3 million. For our second and final potent notable here, let's talk about the pictures we see throughout Mindy's apartment and office. So on the sets of many shows, you can't always see the pictures that are shown in the frames. The photos that are featured on the Mindy Project in both Mindy's apartment and office were taken out of Kaling's photo albums. The pictures are of Mindy, her family, her friends, and people that she knew in college. There are a few pictures that don't belong to Kaling. For example, there's an old photo of actor Tommy Dewey, who played Mindy's ex-boyfriend Josh, that we saw again in the last episode in the Heartbreak Box. So there you go, those are the potent notables. Let's go to the episode overview. So we get another voiceover that ended up just being a voiceover, which was a bummer. I get the feeling though that it was planned to be the normal voiceover that was actually her talking to somebody, but they cut it out. I bet she was talking to the doctor or nurse or whatever she was in her hospital room. Anyway, I'll always be a little bit disappointed when Mindy doesn't do the voiceover to really talking to someone else bit. But why was she in the hospital in the first place? She was getting the webbing between her toes removed, and they just let her leave the hospital all drugged up. Not to worry though, because Charlie, the cop, is going to randomly show up and bring her home. Unless he's stalking her, it seems really unlikely that of the millions of people in New York, they would continue to happen to run into each other. But, you know, whatever. Anyway, he fixes a bunch of stuff for her, and she realizes that she can't wait around for a man to do things for her. This is what prompts the A story. Mindy decides to buy an apartment. The B story is that Peter wants to date a British woman because he's sick of dating American women, and obviously goes to Jeremy, who promptly invites him to a game of celebrity that he's having at his place. What ends up happening is that Peter makes a connection with the only other American at the party. They hit it off, he asks her out, and she agrees, but there ends up being a snag. She's got a baby in a separate room that she apparently just randomly goes to from time to time to give it milk. Maybe not the most attentive mother? Either way, not only is she a mother though, she's also a neurosurgeon and super smart, which are all red flags for Peter because his wheelhouse is idiots apparently. Now in the A story, Danny insists on coming along with Mindy while she's looking for an apartment. I assume she's about to buy the first one she sees in Little Chernobyl, which is just a great name for a fake neighborhood. But Danny convinces her not to by showing her a picture of another apartment that's cheaper. That apartment? It's Danny's, and it's across the hall from his own. He owns 2 apartments in the same building because apparently he went to a Susie Orman Get Over Your Divorce seminar, and Susie said to buy multiple multiple apartments, I guess. Even though Mindy is concerned that it'll be weird, he insists that she at least stay there and try it out. Of course, Danny then uses this to get to hang out with Mindy a bunch. Now back to the B story here. Peter ends up going on the date with Lauren despite his reservations and has a great time with her, but she doesn't see him as a serious option and doesn't want to go on another date with him. Peter very maturely says he's super duper mature. And then he goes on another date with a girl that is more typical for him, which was fun because she checked all the boxes he had previously mentioned. But you can tell that Peter isn't satisfied. So what will he do? Well, we don't get to find out right away because first he's got to point out to Mindy that her staying in Danny's second apartment is a bad idea because he's clearly just keeping tabs on her. Well, Mindy is going to test this theory out by inviting Charlie over for dinner. How does Danny find out that she's got a guy over? Because they have inexplicably left their shoes in the hallway outside the apartment door. Who would ever do this?
Psychopaths. Fiends.
Cut to Danny making an ass of himself and Charlie leaving. Mindy has now confirmed that Danny is a weirdo. I really don't understand what they're doing with Danny in this show. He's likable and then he's very much not. I really thought he was kind of terrible in this one. I mean, she ends up asking Charlie out for real this time after kind of being really mean to him by using him. And when she's about to leave, Danny tries to kiss her again, just like on the plane. Except this time, Mindy tells him to fuck off, basically. He doesn't get to do that just because he wants to or because he doesn't want her to be with someone else. That's not how this is gonna work. She gets to decide. And I was like, fuck yeah, Mindy, fuck Danny. But I feel like the show doesn't really want me to say that. So I don't understand. Anyway, Peter ends up showing up to a surgery that Lauren is doing and convincing her to give him a second date. So bully for him. And Mindy goes on a date with Charlie that looked fairly boring. I can't imagine sitting on a car in a street in New York City at night to hopefully catch a meteor shower is all that much fun, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, that's where we end the episode. Well, actually, we end the episode with Mindy propositioning Charlie, the cop, for drugs. So yeah, that was dumb. All right, let's find out how it ranked.
Oh, wait.
So the rank is where I rank the episode based on 5 categories: story, acting, dialogue, episode coherence, and character relatability. I rank it on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. And then I have a laugh counter where I tally up the amount of times the episode made me laugh out loud. 1 point per laugh out loud gets added to the score. But before I dive into the rankings, I just want to say if you're enjoying this episode, please leave a like down below. It really does help me out. Hit that little thumbs up button if you like it. I mean, if you don't, too, I guess. What do they say? Smash it? Why am I still doing this?
Can we get back on track here?
All right, without further ado, let's dive into the rankings here. First category is story, and I gave story a 4.5. The story's really good. Mindy's looking for an apartment to buy while Peter is looking for love. Danny ends up suggesting his second apartment to Mindy, and the awkwardness ensues. Peter gets a second date. It's a good story. So let's go to acting, which I also gave a 4.5. The acting is really good, as it usually is. I have to say that I don't really like what they're doing with Danny here, but Chris Messina played it well. I just don't get it. Yeah, everyone was good, including Tim Daly, who did a nice bit of hurt, stoic, macho guy acting. So let's go to dialogue, which I gave a 3.5. It's always funny, but I got the impression that this one wasn't quite as funny as it's been. I thought they could have done better, and I really just think that they either shouldn't have had the Danny-Mindy hookup already or not have split them up, because these episodes feel like annoying filler episodes sometimes. Peter was the highlight, though. He really is a fun character on this show. So let's go to episode coherence, which I gave a 2. A few annoying things stuck out to me here. 1. Why on earth would they have left their shoes outside her apartment in the freaking hallway? 2. The Raven of Wog's fire was right. Didn't Mindy put out a fire already when Casey burnt a grilled cheese? Actually, didn't she do it with Josh as well? But now she can't touch a fire extinguisher? She needs a man for that? It was a cute scene, but it just didn't cohere with the series. The love interest for Peter here, Lauren, just leaves her baby in a bedroom for long stretches of time at a party. You know, maybe this is an experience that others have, but that seems pretty incoherent to normal life to me. And finally, Mindy asks a cop if it's better to watch a meteor shower high. Really? Other than those things, it was good though. Although Danny felt a little out of character to me, but maybe not. Now come to think of it, if this episode came out now, it wouldn't be that big of a deal to ask a cop if he's got some marijuana, because not illegal anymore. At the time, illegal. All right, so let's go to character relatability, which I gave a 4. Now I'm giving this a high score because I was really happy to see Mindy stand up for herself and not just succumb to the attention of Danny. Danny, on the other hand, is just super weird. Is it a control thing for him? I just don't know where this is coming from, and I didn't find it very relatable. Peter and Charlie were both very relatable though. All right, so kind of up and down rankings here. It would need a decent laugh counter to stay in the top 3, and it got a 13, which is decent. And that puts the grand total at a 31.5 for this episode, which puts it in the I'd watch it again, so it did just barely stay in the top 3. As for the series average, it goes to a 36.1, staying in the holy grail. So thanks for listening and or watching. If you'd like to see a list of our episode and series rankings, you can do that on our website at therankedpodcast.com. For those of you who have enjoyed the episode so far and haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and or follow, like the episode, comment. You can also reach out to me via email at info@therankedpodcast.com and send me your suggestions, questions, whatever. I will respond to you if you want me to. And if you really want to support the show, you can become a patron on our Patreon site at patreon.com/therankedpodcast, where you can get access to all of our archived episodes. But I'll leave you with this. Why is Mindy always losing shoes? Because she apparently leaves them in the hallway outside her apartment, like a freaking psychopath.
Yeah, that was weird.
Written by Tracy Wakefield and Alina Menken, and directed by...
Cut!
And directed... Michael Weaver.
Cut!
Written by Tracy Wakefield and Alina Menken.
Cut!
Take 3.
Written by Tracy Wakefield and Alina... Oh man, it's going to be a tough one today.
It's good to be back.